Hello everyone and welcome to my stamp studio. I'm Beth Maxwell, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today is Wednesday at April 1st. Happy Fool's Day if you're a fan of Fool's Day. I am here today to share with you a quick little project for those last minute Easter treats. For people that just show up or kids that show up that you weren't expecting. You can whip these out in minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and get my feed going here. And if you're joining me for lunch, say hi. Tell me what you're having for lunch today. I have not planned my lunch, so I do need some ideas. All right. We are going to be making this adorable little Easter basket. As you can see, I filled mine with all sorts of candy. But this is super quick and easy to make. And I'm going to show you how. Now, if you're on my email list by this Friday, by Good Friday, I will email out the tutorial on how to do this with all the measurements, but it's really actually very quick and easy. All right, so I have a piece of 6x6 designer paper. Now, this is, actually, if you give me a moment, I'm going to raise my desk so I can actually stand while I'm doing this today. I kind of feel the need to stand. Okay. Sometimes it's just easier to stand and work on my projects than it is to be sitting. So today is one of those days. All right, there we go. Okay, so I have a piece of 6x6 designer series paper. Now this is the Easter Joy specialty paper, so it is fairly thick. So one of the things that you're going to have to take note is when you have a piece of designer paper that's really thick, or cardstock that's thick, you need to make sure that you do a good job of scoring. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to score on both sides at 2 inches and 4 inches. I'm going to turn this around a little bit. There we go. And then you can see what I'm doing. I'm using my gray blade, and I'm just going back and forth several times. Instead of pressing hard and run the risk of tearing your paper, just go back and forth several times. So I went 2 inches, and now I'm going to go to 4 inches. And then I'm going to turn it, rotate it 90 degrees, and do 2 inches and 4 inches. So you can take your 12 by 12 paper, and you can make 4 baskets out of one sheet. Like I said, super quick and easy. All right. Then I have a piece of designer paper that is 1 inch by 6 inches. Now, if you wanted to use regular cardstock, you can do that. That's going to be the handle. So I'm going to take my snips now, and it doesn't matter which side you do. Go ahead and cut along your score line, just like so. Then go to the opposite side and do the same thing. I love this little basket. It is so easy to do. You can make these as a birthday treat. You can make these for Mother's Day. You know, just change your paper up. That's all you have to do. All right. So now that we've got that, this is the inside. All right. I'm going to just go ahead and, I should have done that prior to cutting. As you can see, I'm just folding along those score lines. I'm going to grab my bone folder really quick here and give it a nice press. Do it on this side too. Definitely should have done that before I trimmed. All right, so I've got all these little flaps. What I'm going to do is this flap is going to be in the middle. All right, so what you can do is you can take your really strong adhesive, and I'm going to say really strong. So you want to use glue dots, tear and tape. I'm using Seal Plus. And now I'm just going to wrap these up just like this. I just want to make sure that the inside is hidden, and I'm matching those 2 points. All right. So I'm going to come up and match those 2 points. If you feel you need a little bit more adhesive, go ahead and just do it on this tab right here. So in this tab, right in this upper corner, and you don't have to do a whole lot. And I'm going to actually leave a little bit of a gap. So we'll go on this side. Again, I'm just going to put adhesive there and adhesive there. I want to make sure that this stays together. All right, so I'm folding in that middle flap. And then I'm having these two meet, leaving just a little bit of a gap. Oh, I put this on the wrong side. Hang on. We're gonna do that over because I put my adhesive on the wrong side. You know, and I've done like 10 of these. I don't know why I goofed up. All right. Well, maybe I can take it off with my eraser here. Let me see. Sometimes with this eraser, what I did is I actually put my, we're just going to leave it. I want my adhesive on the inside of these flaps, not on the outside. I'm going to cover that up anyways, so I'll be okay. All right, so now I've got my little form basket here. I'm going to take my 1-inch strip. I just put about an inch worth and just adhering that to the inside of my box, like so, making that little basket. All right, I'm going to do this one more time because that one didn't turn out as well. So I'm going to score it at 2 inches and then 4 inches. Turning it 90 degrees and 2 inches and 4 inches. Now you can choose whatever side designer series paper you have. I'm just going to go ahead and do my scoring first. In fact, I'm going to go this way because I don't want to rub off that foil that's on that side. So I'm just going to do it this way. As long as, you know, you can bend these, that's all that's really important. Okay. Again, I'm going to come in and I'm going to trim. It's easiest for me to see on this foil side because right underneath it has like a little line there, so it's much easier for me to see. And I must have something sticky on my scissors. All right, I'm going to just flip it around, do the opposite side, trim it. Trim it. All right. Flip into the inside here. Again, I'm going to add adhesive here and here. Flip this one down here and here. I'm going to put some on these inner corners here. And go around to this side. It's easier to do it when it's all flat. So, okay, now we're going to roll these together. So I just rolled those sides up. It didn't roll as nice on this side. And I'm leaving, like I said, a little bit of a gap. Not a real big gap, but a little bit. I'm not measuring it. Just kind of eyeballing it. All right. So in this one, I need another. This one we use a different color. You know, let me show you what it looks like using cardstock. So I am actually grabbing my Shy Shamrock. I need 2 circles. So these circles are 2 3/8 inch. All right. Then I need a 1-inch strip for my handle. Again, putting my adhesive. Ooh, right at the bottom. I don't know what's going on today. I think the gremlins are at work in my studio here. Because this should not be happening. All right. So I want adhesive on both ends. I'm just going to stick it on the inside here. Roll that. Put it right on the inside. Just like so. Now you can have your basket fan out a little bit more or close it up more. It's up to you how big you want that. So now I've got my 2 circles here. I've already die cut using my stylish no, my Spotlight on Nature dies. So I've cut 2 out. We're going to be putting these right on here, and then we'll be putting them on. What I'm now doing is I have my little bunny, and I've taken it from the Notes of Nature, or Notes of Spring. So I'm going to use a little bunny here. I stamped it onto a piece of masking paper. So now I have it here on my masking paper. I'm going to tear off that backing, and just give me a moment to get it peeled up here. I just need to get it peeled up. All right, so I'm peeling it apart. All right, so now there's a little sticky on the back. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just put my little bunny right here. I'm going to put it up a little bit higher because I am going to put a sentiment here. I have a strip that I'm going to have a stamp a sentiment. So it'll be kind of like giving the bunny something to sit on. But in the meantime, I want to add a little bit of the grass pattern here. So I'm going to grab this little stamp here. Just grab a block. I need a scrap piece of paper. Let me grab my Shy Shamrock ink. And I'm just going to put now, it doesn't matter if I stamp on that masking paper because I'm going to be pulling it off. All right, so it kind of looks like that bunny's hidden. Now, when I lift this off, just going to peel that little sticker off. I don't want to tear it because I need to use it on my other circle. And it's ripping. Okay. There we go. I've got that kind of shape where the body was going to go. So let's get our other circle. Let's do the same thing. We'll put our bunny on. Now mine tore because it was really sticky. All right. We'll stamp our little grass pieces here. All right. We'll peel that rabbit off. Now, sometimes if you're able to peel that off whole, you can use it again. It doesn't last for a real long time, but you can reuse it for several projects. I just can't seem to get this peeled off. My nails are really short. All right. So here we go. All right, now I'm going to bring in my pecan pie. Get this out of the way. I'm having trouble picking up things too. All right, and I want my solid image here. So I'm going to ink that up with pecan pie, and I'm going to put the bunny right there. Now this is our kind of our shading or our inside, kind of what I call a solid image. And then I'm going to come back with the detailed rabbit. And I did it in pecan pie because it kind of reminds me of like a chocolate Easter bunny. I'm going to go ahead and look through here, and I just need to make sure I'm right over the middle. Pull this one down. I'm just lining up like the tail and the ears. This one's got a little bit of a white nose. All right, now we're going to take this and just adhere it right to our circles. We'll bring back in our basket. I'm going to put dimensionals behind here. So one key thing about this is where you're placing your dimensionals. You want to make sure that you have one at the top. Okay, so here's my top. I'm going to flip it down. I don't want it at the very top, but I want it a little bit in. And I'm going to use, oh my gosh, I cannot pick anything up today. All right. I'm going to use 4 dimensionals there. Again, making sure my bunny ears are. I want this to stay on. That's why I'm using a generous amount of adhesive. You want it to stay together because we're going to be filling it with goodies. So I have 20 of these to make. We'll see if I actually get all 20 done. I at least have to have 10 done. Because all the kids have to have one, right? Okay. The littles don't really need to have one. Okay, so there's that one. I'll put this one on this side. All right. Now, with this 1/2-inch strip I have here, I'm going to go ahead and stamp a sentiment that says, especially for you. And I'm going to just do that in my Shy Shamrock. So I didn't have to pull out a lot of stamp pads or a lot of products. I can just do the same one over and over. So I'm just going to stamp it right on there. I don't like the way that positioned. Oh my goodness. I need to just take a moment. There we go. And I'm going to just trim it at an angle right here. I'm going to trim it at the same angle right here. We're going to go ahead and take a little bit of our Seal Plus. And I'm going to put it right here. Just like that. And now we're going to fill it with all sorts of candy. So I've got a bunch of candy here. And I've got some Hershey Kisses or Hershey Hugs. I got a little peanut butter thing. I've got some... These plastic carrots are filled with powdered sugar, like pixie sticks. Not powdered sugar, but flavored sugar. So pixie sticks. So we're going to throw in some Mambos in there. Some more chocolate. And there we go. I have a cute little place setting for our Easter dinner table. Plus, I can fill these up and do them different colors for different people, just depending on the cardstock I'm using and the designer series paper I'm using. So thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this, and maybe you can make some up for your Easter celebration if you celebrate Easter. If you're using it for a birthday, I'd love to see your idea. Head over to our VIP group on Facebook and post your picture there. All right. Have a great day. Have a wonderful rest of your happy hump day. And we will see you tomorrow night for Stampin' Fun and More at 6:44 on my Facebook channel. If you're watching on YouTube, that video will be uploaded up to YouTube after. So thanks again. Have a great day.